Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Jimmy Channel. Today we're attacking this indicator problem, the flat tire monitor called TPMS Sensors. This is my wife's 2013 Hyundai Elantra Coupe. About going on 9 years old now, and that sensor light will not go off, even though of course the tire pressure is fine. Okay, there's a lot of stuff online about how to handle this problem. So the most likely culprit is the sensors that are located inside the tire. You go to a tire shop or the dealer, you're looking at probably $100 a tire for them to replace the sensors and then reprogram them. I'm going to take a fly at this and see if I can't get these things replaced in all 4 tires. Unfortunately, on this Elantra, it doesn't tell me which tire's giving me the problem. So it's got to be one of the 4, or maybe more than one. So a couple things. These sensors are very specific to every car. These ones happen to be 315 megahertz for the Hyundai Elantra. Found them up online. They're aftermarkets. Ran about $40 for 4 of them. And then you need to get them inside the tire. I'm utilizing this device, the Bead Buster. A lot of different ones that are online. This one's pretty highly rated. It runs around a little over $100. Whole idea is to get the bead broken on the tire enough that we can get that sensor out of there and replace it. So let me get this tire off the car and I'll come back. Okay, that's easy enough. Here's the great part about this job. You can actually put the tire up on a bench. You don't have to be on your hands and knees. So first things first, the longer the tires have been on the car, the harder it's going to be to break the bead. This is Windex. Just filling up the bead gap. Want that Windex to start soaking into that gap. The longer that it soaks, the easier it's going to be to get off. You'll have to use the tool to kind of work it around just to pop the bead. Next thing, while that's soaking, got to get the air out of the tire. I'm going to get a little bit out, then I'm going to pull the nozzle right out of here. The reason I don't just pull the nozzle out, you'll probably lose the nozzle. It never hurts to have a couple spares. I'll be right back. Okay, she's draining. Like I said, it's able to keep it. I'm going to let all the air get out of this, hit it with a little bit more Windex, and then we're going to start the process. A lot of good videos up online about this thing, about how to use it. I'll give you a couple tricks that I've learned as I'm going through this. Once we start to get this bead broken, we're going to use some pieces of wood. What I did is I went and I measured, once I got the first bead off, the distance from pushing the tire down to where I want to hold it on the rim. Just took it on my table saw and notched it out. So I'll show you when those are in position how easy it is once you pop that bead. All right, one second. Use this Bead Buster. You got to have a little patience with this thing. A couple things you need to know. Obviously the sensor's sitting right here. I'm only looking to try to break the bead on this side of the tire. That's all I need to do. So this thing, it's a little bit of patience you got to have. So it just fits in. The goal is you want to have the mechanism touching the rim if at all possible. So I'm kind of jamming it in there. See that? You got 2 adjustments here. This is the one that parallels it. I'm just going to take that down by hand a little bit. I'm using an air ratchet. You can use a screw gun or whatever you want. You might hear the compressor go up, but I'm just going to show you how I kind of work around this thing a little bit. Guess it helps if I go the right direction. So as close as you can to the rim, like I said. F is for forward. See, I'm trying to get a parallel with the tire. Then I'm going to take what they call the bead foot and drive it down into the tire. I said this tire's been on here a while. So I've had the best success with this if you just kind of work around the tire. So I've kind of loosened the bead on that side. Now I'm going to move to the other side. I've got some more Windex in there. It kind of goes up in there easy now. This is the hardest part of this project. Going in easier now. Just because that seal's been on there so long, it's holding it tight. Don't want to go too much. Okay, so we've broken the bead on the tire now. Now comes those wood blocks that I made. Like I said, I didn't even go all the way around this side of the tire. That bead's still there, so I don't really need all of it. I'm just going to push it down, get it over the sensor that's there. There's our sensor. Use a deep throat socket. Out with the old one. In with the new. These ones are a little different with the mounting screws a little bit bigger, or I should say the mounting bolts a little bit bigger. Move this a hair bit over. Couple washers. Where's my socket? All right. So you just tighten it down. Don't go crazy with it. Just make sure it's flush against the tire. All you're doing is seating that rubber gasket in the hole. Just like so. All right. Out with the wood. Make sure it's clear in your sensor. Now we'll just let the air pressure reseat the bead for us. Get it up to 35 pounds. Okay, so I just got up the pressure, got it back on the car there. So just to review a couple things here. So that's the number of the Bead Buster I'm using, and these particular sensors I got one more to do. And this, the wood chocks I made. This dimension here is going to be specific to this car. So just measure. Once you get one off or partially off, just get yourself a dimension here and knot yourself some pieces of wood. So one more thing will need to happen. I need to get these new transmitters programmed to the car. So I don't have one of the tools. They're about 150 bucks. Maybe I'll buy one someday. But I'll run over to one of my tire shops around, and they've all got them. And all they do is they go, put the device there by each tire. They're picking up the number off each one. Then they plug it into the module, program it to the car, and then after about 20 minutes of driving, it should be picking up the signal, and that light should go off. So cross our fingers. Hope this helped everybody, and thanks for giving to YouTube. I try to give back every time I can.